build something better for the future. Our children and our children's children. Let go. I could talk about back in the day. What's going on, B1 family? It's your boy Big Big. Welcome back to my Black Universe. So we got a lot to cover, and we got some serious stuff to cover. Now, in my last video, I was mentioning a couple. They were not FBA for sure. I had people coming there jumping in talking about, oh, they tethers. First off, let's do this because we're about code discipline, message discipline. Tether is action based. Being an immigrant does not make you an automatic tether. That's why folks be trying to run to Tariq and try to tell, oh, they called me a tether. They didn't know who I was. Because some of you dudes are silly, jumping out here saying, oh, you're not FBA, you're a tether automatically. No, it's action based. Are they actively undermining us? Are they trying to deny our justice claims? Are they trying to say, are they trying to speak on behalf of us, talking about, well, we don't need no reparations? If they're not trying to actively undermine you, whether it's at work, it don't have to be something as major as reparations. It can be at work. You're doing your job, and every time you're doing your job, you're on your break, you come back 2 seconds late. Cheryl is in the break room. She's in the break room too long. Yeah, she's in the break room extra 2 seconds. You should fire her and give me her job because I work hard. If they doing stuff like that, that makes them a tether. All right? Message discipline. Don't be out here being goofy because you want to be popular. You feel like the lineation is popular enough. You want to glom on and jump in now because you feel like the tethers had an opportunity and a chance to win. Don't do that because we're going to call you goofies out too because y'all muddying up the waters. We don't need that. But B1 family, you know how we do it. There's a message from this lovely sister. Oh, she is a lovely sister.
Still mad that I said I don't want to have mixed kids. I don't have nothing against mixed kids. I'm just saying I'm not pushing out any mixed kids out of my Hello Kitty, and this is my Hello Kitty, so I don't have to do that.
I love it. She said, this is what she said without saying it. I'm not a bed wench. Leave me alone. And I love it. I love it. She says, I'm not a bed wench, and leave me alone. I had to translate because some people are a little slow. Some people are a little slow. I am not a bed wench. Leave me alone. However, B1 family, there's something that's an issue that's coming up where we, as I talked about with the white dude that did the half-ass singing, we got to be careful who's in the mix, who's around us, because we're end up being like the Jamaicans if we're not careful. Like the Jamaicans who got all these Asian Jamaicans and white Jamaicans, and they can't go to their own beaches because I just stumbled across this and I was like, oh, I didn't know it got that thick. I knew the Vietnamese was down there heavy, but I didn't know it's this thick. Oh, what's the video? Hold on. Oh, technical difficulties be on family. Hold on. Let me do what I do. Let's see if that fixed it. Oh, let me go grab it again. Let me go grab that again. Of course, when I'm trying to flow and keep it rolling, that's when it's going to do what it do.
How do they sound? I always wonder. Do they got an accent too?
See, I ain't from New Orleans. I'm from Baton Rouge, and I'm fully Vietnamese. It just depends on where you raised at. You can hear in my voice, this shit hood as hell. We do got an accent.
And it sounds forced. It sounds forced. You think her Vietnamese, 100% Vietnamese parents let her talk like that? That sound like cosplaying to me. B1 family, we got to be careful of that nonsense. For real, for real. Because it's everywhere. This anti-black hate is literally everywhere. So if you think you finna run across the waters and live a better life, unless you're a tether and you're okay with being disrespected, the microaggressions and macroaggressions, you're gonna notice the bullshit. Okay, I'm about to just re-upload all of them. They acting funny. Because we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna roll with the punches, B1 family, because that's how we do. Where's young man at? Oh, that sucks. Where you at? There you go.
Living in Japan for over a year, by the way, every issue I have heard of involving a Japanese local and a foreigner involved a white man. So every single robbery, every rape, every disorderly conduct, every murder, all done by white men. But every time I see a Japanese girl coming on base, she's with a white man. And white men are getting paid hundreds of dollars to donate sperm out in town. But y'all are scared of black people. And
Oop. Getting smashed down on, literally raped, killed, whatever, by white men. But they're scared of black folk. This is everywhere. This is global. Once again, we have no friends. We have no friends. We have no one to be allies with. They're too wishy-washy. And then the handful that might want to work with us, the moment their family get wind of that, they're like, oh no, you with who? We'll disown you. Yeah, you might get killed by this white man. Yeah, you might come up missing, but he's white. That's the price of doing business. I've been looking at The Godfather of Harlem. I upgraded the internet because my kids were killing me. Tax my pockets. They just run through it. And I got Disney Plus free. So after I finished watching other shows I didn't watch, I'm just scrolling through and I see Godfather of Harlem. And shout out to the Godfather of Harlem. Boy, just seeing how things are back then from this standpoint. Yeah, some of it's embezzled, or should not embezzled, but embellished. Some of it's embellished, but just knowing that these folk were willing to kill their own daughter, their own son, because they have that much vitriol for black folk, but they want to sell drugs to black folk, do business in black folk business in black folk neighborhood. Man, it's a sick world we live in, and it's taken us honestly too long, to an extent, too long to get to this point. We didn't let it get bad to the point where we were wiped out, but it just took us too long to say, hey, we got to start forgiving and start just doing our own thing, because it's a global epidemic dealing with these folk. And don't think these folk don't know what they're doing. And don't think they don't know how to try to rage bait us or make us try to feel a type of way and want us to try to act a fool, because they'll get online and say this.
The only way that I can harbor any sort of respect for a black person is if they prove in some sort of way that they aren't completely obsessed with being black. I've been a grown-ass man for long enough to know that there's absolutely nothing a black person can teach me. I don't care to view history through your black lens.
Well, you heard it, everybody. The conservative white supremacist believes that we are obsessed with being black when we speak out against the mistreatment of black people. I have a feeling that he is not going to contradict himself at all.
I'm pretty thoroughly convinced that there's a special place in God's heart for white people, and there are times throughout history that make this abundantly clear. White men are most definitely under attack in this country, and that's not even an exaggeration. And this apparent notion that you're just not allowed to make fun of black people in this country just always reminds me of, when you're a kid, Sinners is an okay movie at best, all right? And the fact that it is such a subpar movie isn't what's most important.
White supremacy in this country could not exist if it wasn't obsessed with black people. White supremacy also couldn't exist in this country if it wasn't obsessed with trying to prove that white people were inherently better. White supremacy and racism has convinced him that black people need to prove that we are worthy, that we are human, while at the same time that he's calling us obsessed, he does nothing but talk about black people and white people. But he's not obsessed because he's superior. We were raised in a society that was so obsessed with race that they had to create rules putting us at a disadvantage, only to tell us that we're the ones that are obsessed because we are fighting back against their obsession. Y'all have a good one.
That's how it is, B1 family. That's how it is. You see, we are written free on everybody's mind. Everybody's mind. We're written free. And you'll see later on, our FBA brother, who's in New York, who got attacked, he will echo this point. Because he had there was a press conference that was done. He got a chance to speak out. Because that's what this is all about. We need to know what's going on with our folk. No, the idea that you can't go to the store and just get a bottle of wine without getting literally just immediately just pounced on is absurd. But we're gonna get into that a little later. Because, like I said, white folk will do that on one hand and then also acknowledge how great we are on the other hand. What our brother, our late brother Neely Fuller say, white supremacy likes to take both sides of the coin or take both sides of the argument.
Punk rock was started by black people. Don Letts is the one credited with bringing the underground Jamaican working class sound to London punk. Without reggae, there would be no punk, but let's not stop there. All the music you've ever heard is because of black people. Without Screamin' Jay Hawkins, we would have no goth music, especially the goth wave of the United States. Without Leadbelly, we wouldn't have grunge or Nirvana. Muddy Waters invented rock and roll. Bessie Smith and Ma Rainey invented the blues, which then turned into country. Not to mention who was on all the chain gangs being recorded used for said country music that never got paid for the royalties.
Foundational Black Americans. They know. Don't think folk don't know. Folk like to play dumb. They like to play ignorant. Folk know we are the most watched group. We are the culture. Point blank, period. That's what we do. We're exceptional people. Because we have to be. We don't get, there's no days off for us. Notice that? When you try to be lazy, you really can't be lazy. Man, I'm just going to chill. And then you find yourself, Lord, put that on silent. You try to be lazy, but you really can't find yourself being lazy. I mean, I got to do something, man. We don't know how to just not get things done. We don't know how. All right? It's not our fault that y'all have adopted, I don't want to do nothing but let somebody else do it, and then low-key complain that they didn't do it the way I would have wished for them to do it instead of doing it ourselves. Because we understand if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. And that's how we always move, man. That's just who we are. In this video, and y'all probably seen this race. I think it was a couple weeks ago right now, about now. And this brother, he breaks it down. I love how he broke this down.
That's why some of us are saying that the
we gonna deal with that clown in a second. That's not what I was looking for. Where's this at? Oh, here it is. Here it is. I got it.
Really explains America in a nutshell, because you have a white man who is ahead, doing good, everything is great. He thinks he's doing so good that he's already dancing before the finish line. He already checking his watch. He's already celebrating right before he gets to the finish line. And now he hears everybody cheering. He think all the cheers is for him. But you have a man right behind him, working harder, doing more, doing way more, and moving a lot faster. He is running like his life depends on it. And he ends up catching up to said white man. And he ends up passing said white man. And he ends up passing a line before, way before said white man, 2 seconds before exactly. But when they are talking about the race in which the black man has won, Joshua Jackson, you know what they said? They said Joshua Jackson robbed this man of his win. They even said Joshua Jackson snatched the banner out of the hands of this man right here. They even said Joshua Jackson snatched the victory from this man right here. They demonized Joshua Jackson for simply being better. They demonized Joshua Jackson for winning the race because this man was close to the finish line. So instead of highlighting Joshua Jackson's victory, his win, him being ahead, they highlighted the fact that this man was hurt, that he did not win. Congratulations, Joshua Jackson, on being the first, number one, being the winner of this race.
There you go. That's our life in a nutshell. But we don't give up. We don't, we have our moments where we feel like we're slightly overwhelmed, but we understand there's a bigger picture. Being FBA, was a much bigger picture for us. Now, let's deal with this clown. There's still some butthurt Pan-Africanists who are out here upset that the money's drying up. And what they're doing, they're trying to pivot, B1 family, and get online and start barking and balking at us heavy. They're really trying to go like where the FBA's at, where I can get some money. They come to TikTok, IG, they going everywhere. They were just on YouTube at one point in time. They realized, oh dang, the money drying up. Ain't nobody trying to go to quote Wakanda for the nonsense.
That's why some of us are saying that the FBA crowd, whether you be full on board with Tariq Nasheed or you trying to use delineation.
And they love mentioning his name because mentioning his name is going to get you clicks and views. It's going to get you clicks and views. Tariq Nasheed. And of course, he like he said, he's the proxy for all of us. To talk about all of us in our lineage 24/7, he's going to do one, two things. Prove that you have some form of psychosis that you have to deal with, or just keep pushing us to further delineate and say, hey, we cool. We cool. We are super cool. Man, but we can work together. No, we can't. We can't work together. We are rent free. You ain't did nothing but talk about us 24/7. You are literally having 24/7 spaces and lives about us, but you're not taking on that money you're making and building up your countries and your homelands. You still, have y'all noticed? Ain't nobody really talking about that 7-day Red Festival no more. Now we're not doing it because, unfortunately, it's unfortunate that it's happening, or that's even a thing. But that's over in Nigeria. That ain't here, so it ain't for us to talk about. But they not dealing with that. They're not dealing with none of that stuff. None of the ills of their homeland. None of the qualms of their homeland. Like I said, I saw a video where a chick literally stopped dude recorded. Hey, what are you doing? She just stopped and just dress stream pissed in the street. Squatted, cocked the dress up, the skirt up a little bit in the middle of the street, jet stream pissed, and then walked off looking crazy. Like, what?
Because you disagree with something Tariq Nasheed do, but you still believe in the FBI zeitgeist. You still being pimped by the CIA COINTELPRO operation zeitgeist.
No, man, we ain't been pimped out about the fact that we're saying we don't want to be pimped and whored out to the Democrats or to an ideology that has not benefited us. We don't see no tangible benefit in being a Pan-Africanist. There's no tangible benefit. It is us throwing good money after bad money after good. We just constantly throwing money at it and ain't nothing happening. We're not getting nothing back from it. There's too many brothers and sisters who went over there and gotten killed. Too many brothers and sisters who went over there and had their land stripped from them almost immediately. They like, hey, we know you paid for this, but we want it back. And the authorities sit there and watch them ransack their homes and strip out all the precious metals and stuff like that. No, we've seen this stuff. These folk act like our eyes don't work. Yeah, some of us might have some thick ass glasses. We might have the bifocals or the lenses that's this thick. But we see what we see. You trying to tell us we ain't seen what we're seeing. We've been seeing this before AI. So you can't say it's AI. We've been seeing this bullshit for a long time. And been watching this. Hey, man. No, I'm cool. I'm going to stay here, bro. I'm going to save up 30, 40 grand to come over there, start building. And then as soon as y'all see me build up, like, all right, cool, we finna take it back over. And then force me off the land or take my life? You stupid.
Because the idea is to make sure that blacks in America don't link up with blacks in Africa and don't link up with blacks in the Caribbean and so on and so forth. That's,
bruh, they don't fool with us. We do not have a name for Caribbeans that's derogatory. We do not have a name for Africans that's derogatory. Don't come over to my African booty scratcher. That's a roasting point. But we don't have a dedicated noun for Africans that is denigrating, or Caribbeans that is denigrating, or even Latinos or anybody else for that matter. We don't do that. But they all got names for us. And they use it amongst themselves, but they come around us and they want us to do business where we're putting money into their families and their homes and their communities while ours are starving. They're like, cool, man, come do business with us. Oh, man, I really can't do that because you're a kata. Like what? What you mean? Oh, so it was cool. We done spent about $500,000 a year with you, your people, but you can't come spend 10 grand with us. Oh, you okay? Okay, we good.
The last thing they ever want to happen. So when I hear people talking smack out there, you know what, and they ain't got no facts to back up nothing, then the very people you claim to be trying to represent and fight for is the very people you are helping to divide and keep conquered.
No, we're not fighting for black people. We're fighting for FBA. No, that's where you're wrong, Mr. Pan Scam Artist. We're good. It's FBA all day. We are not fighting for nobody else. We've put on the gloves. We picked up the swords. We've donned the shields. We put on the capes. We've done everything for everybody else. Fuck everybody else. It's about us. It's about our home. It's about our house. We getting our shit in order. Our yard is back getting kept. That's what it is. See, they used to us. I'm gonna use this analogy. It's like we live on the street. And we got a mower. We got the weed eater. We got the trimmers, the hedgers. We got all that stuff. And we've been going down the street and we've been cutting yards and we keep them nice and we do it all day. But by the end of the day, when we come to our house, we're tired. But nobody's reciprocated. And now what's going on is we're saying, instead of me spending all this money on this oil, gas that I got to mix and I'm breathing in the fumes and I go cut their yards and get them nice and they don't say as much as thank you, I'm going to make my yard nice. It's a mess. Let me weed the yard. All this growth on my fence. Oh no, we finna get that off. Let me edge the yard. We get our yard crispy. And now we repainting the fence. We're getting it fixed. We all the dried wood, we're taking it out and we're putting fresh wood in there and we're lining it up and it's even and it looks nice. It looks presentable. The curb appeal is amazing. And they're seeing it, noticing, well, they're not doing our yards anymore. No, buy your own shit. Well, all the money you save from us doing it for you, all the money you save, yeah, do it your own self. Well, can't you do it for us for a fee? Because we ain't doing it for free. We doing everything for a fee and a hefty fee. We all need to get chipped off. Black folk, we need y'all to save us, man. It's gonna cost y'all a few million. We're gonna need about 10 mil off the bat. Y'all got it right. Y'all work hard, right? Y'all are so educated, right? Come off that bread. And we'll think about it. We need a deposit. I think we should do that, B1 family. We need about a deposit. No. We need to deposit about 100 mil. Yeah, we need to. Y'all want us to cape for y'all again? We need a deposit of 100 mil. We finna put y'all on a subscription fee. Latinos, y'all want us to cape for y'all? We putting out y'all subscription fees. Many of y'all over here, we charging y'all about $10,000 a head. And y'all got a lot of family over here. We finna run it up. Y'all want us to jump out the window and do us in our against our best interest? We gotta get paid for it. They gonna take it because they realize, oh damn, we expensive. We gotta do our own work. So this goofy right here talking about some zeitgeist and CIA. You out of your damn mind. Us unifying and worrying about issues and economics here in Black America, foundational Black Americans in America, taking care of ourselves. That's exactly what the CIA does not want, what the FBI does not want. Because now we're looking at them saying, hey, we got a problem with y'all. And we got the documentation to show it. B1 family. There is a story that is, I think this is the one right here, yeah. That's going around about a brother who went to the store to buy a bottle of wine. And the officers immediately start grabbing on him. He's looking like, hey, what's going on? They snatched him up, body shots, head shots. They whooping up on his brother bad. And here's the story. April 23rd, it said the week before, so this is about 3 weeks old. Roughly Yeah, about 3 weeks now. Going on 3 weeks. So last week, Timothy Brown was arrested in a Brooklyn liquor store in a case of mistaken identity. Within the hours, the incident was labeled extremely disturbing and unacceptable. The officers were placed on modified duty pending review. Of course, they're placed on modified duty. However, but what happened to that Latino cop going down there, with that being the bar now, the marker that we're gonna go with, the B1 family that is in New York, y'all go ahead and press that line and get these mofos fired. See, when we press the line, that line, things happen. So no, I'm not finna do that. I'm finna put them out there. I don't know if I'm gonna get a ding or not. But here is CBS New York.
Tonight, the Brooklyn man injured in a wrongful arrest plans to sue the NYPD for $100 million.
Timothy Brown's attorneys have filed a notice of claim with the city. Investigative reporter Masa Saidi spoke exclusively with Brown.
Y'all see how they're doing their brother? Immediately jumped on him. I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of video. I'm not gonna show you too much because YouTube will not like it. They did this brother dirty.
He says the detectives, this is in fact that complaint that was filed by Timothy Brown seeking $100 million from the NYPD as a result of that violent beatdown and subsequent arrest. He says the detectives who beat him had the wrong guy and they also violated his constitutional rights. It was around 4 p.m. on April 14th. Brown stopped at a liquor store in Brooklyn to buy a bottle of wine. He says without warning, two plainclothes detectives with the Brooklyn North Narcotics Unit grabbed him, told him he was under arrest. They then began to use force, throwing punches and at one point even kicking him.
You want family? Y'all see that? The brother's dressed up. He's finna have fun. He coordinated, got the white tee, the hat, matching the shorts. He out stepping out, looking good, feeling good. Gaffled up, slammed into the glass, punched in the face, punched in the stomach, kicked on. What? But we don't need that, but yes, we do. Black folk want too much now. We this is supposed to be the bare minimum. Y'all doing that Stop Asian Hate. We wasn't jumping on Asians like that. Y'all paying these drugged out tethers to go jump on these Asians. Because it was typically always in New York, always in front of a camera. You got these drugged out homeless tethers who are just happy, hey, we got a meal for you. We're gonna get some fresh clothes and something to eat. You know what I'm saying? We might drop a rock off. You know, you didn't see that. And then they go jump on somebody, fast track them a bill, some extra protection, layer protection for some stuff that we weren't doing. And this is stuff that's still happening to us in 2026. We need these officers. We need their names. This is a Democratic city. The mayor's Democratic, right? Right? He's supposed to be a Democrat. He's supposed to be for that's the party of the black people, right? Press that line. My FBA in New York, press that goddamn line. You know I'll gladly share it. You know I'll gladly share it, man. This don't make no damn sense. But that brother to have gone through what he went through.
Hours after his wrongful arrest, and tonight she has new information on the detectives involved.
I just will never be the same.
Timothy Brown was arrested by two NYPD detectives who mistook him for a drug suspect hours after that botched sweep in Brooklyn.
But you start punching down on the brother? No cuffs? No, hey, you're under arrest. You have the right to. You just let's get on them. Let's get busy. We got us one.
We spoke with Mr. Brown.
What did they say?
He said, "You're under arrest." I remember being grabbed and shoved, and he said, "Don't resist." And I said, "I'm not resisting."
Now, Brown's attorneys plan to sue for $100 million.
Hold on, man. Look at this, man. Look at this nonsense, man. And he ain't a young cat, man. He's not a young cat. Imagine walking into a store normally, man. You walking good, you know what I'm saying, for your age. You get beat down to the point where you got to hobble around on a cane. And you wasn't doing nothing. You wasn't moving no work. You ain't no drug deal like that. You probably had a shorty at home. The wife might have sent you out. Hey, go pick up a bottle. Oh, I got you, man. We finna have a night. You finna have a good time. To get, man, look, come on now. Suing for $100 million. Good. I'm glad they're doing it.
Too. It argues Brown's arrest was part of a broader pattern of alleged misconduct. The filing points to another case we reported on. Exclusive video we obtained showed another man, Ronald Maxwell, being taken into custody that day. He tells me he was not charged.
We want to take everything from those police officers, just like they took the dignity away from Mr. Brown.
The filing publicly identifies the two detectives it says were involved.
Look at that. The brother went straight to the wine. He knew what he was there for. Went straight to go get his bottle of wine. He know what he want to sip on.
We pulled the Civilian Complaint Review Board, or CCRB, history for each. Detective Vulcan Madden had 12 complaints dating back to 2016. 5 were substantiated, including, quote, abuse of authority. The other detective,
10 years of terrorizing black folk.
Michael Algerio, had 8 complaints dating back to 2013. 1 was substantiated. Also, quote, abuse of authority. We shared the CCRB complaints with Darren Porcher, a former NYPD lieutenant.
In your view, is this a red flag?
It's conduct that should be spotlighted, meaning there should have been some level of supervisory component that should have at least reviewed and made an assessment as to should we keep these officers in the same capacity they're in, or should we transfer them to a non-enforcement capacity?
The NYPD declined.
Yeah, I don't think he one of us.
To comment on
Louis Vuitton tie. Okay, all right. And I'm looking at the head structure. I don't think he one of us. And if he is, he most definitely stepping hard for them because it's saying non-enforcement capacity. No, fire their ass. What you mean non-enforcement? That's still the job. Get their ass out of there. Get their ass out of there. Be jobless.
Pending litigation.
I'm not walking straight. I still have headaches.
Cell phone video of Mr. Brown.
Yeah, B1 fam. That's what our folk go through. So yeah, when whoever was trying to say I was caping or they tethers, whatever, they're still FBA in New York. Heavy. Shout out to Sister BX for letting us know. They're still FBA in New York. And this is stuff we go through. All right, anti-black hate crime bill. It's a must. It's necessary. You can't just have reparations. We gotta have something to be on the books. So when we defend ourselves, when we are living righteously and defend ourselves, won't be no qualms. Because when we defend ourselves, they want to throw us away and we think it's murder. Hold on, bro. This man came to my house with a gun. I defended myself. Yeah, that's cool, but you black and I might not say so. That's what we deal with. And the only way to completely combat that is we need an anti-black hate crime bill, or else this shit gonna keep happening. And for those who haven't been on my community tab, the black farmers, they're having to deal with what they're dealing with. This is something that's still going on. Yeah, we're dealing with the tethers, we're getting them out of the paint. That's good, but we still got these white supremacists and white supremacist collaborators working to take our lives and take our property, take our land, our dignity, our pride, and the very essence of who we are. We got to keep fighting, making ourselves aware, and be ready to do whatever. B1 family, I appreciate all of you. Till next time, peace and black empowerment. and FBA all day.